Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another Greensware Talks Battlebots prediction podcast. So, I present to you the episode 15 fight card. The reason why you heard a pause there is because, actually, I kind of put this together myself, because basically, Battlebots revealed what the fights are and what the order is for the next episode at the end of the last episode. They haven't given us a fight card yet as for when we recorded this, so I took the blank fight card, put the fights in, put a picture of the robots in, and you get the idea. So, uh, yeah, I'm guessing I'll probably release this prediction podcast by the time the fight card gets after the fight card is released. I'll be for sure the thumbnail of this podcast will be the actual fight card. So not that it matters anyway, because the fights are still the same. This should be the order of the matches based on what we saw at the end of the last episode, and you get the idea. So yeah, if you like what you see here, obviously subscribe for more content, and definitely comment down below who you think are going to win each of these matchups. Always love hearing what you all have to say, and I think we got some more great fights coming. We got many of these matchups have some serious playoff implications, and I'm excited for a lot of this. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, leading off the episode, Cobalt and Lucky. So, this one, this one, I wouldn't say it exactly has major playoff implications, but it definitely has some major seeding implications, because I think both of these robots are set to make bracket right now. Lucky is 3-0 with victories over Triton, Kraken, and Shreddit Bro. Cobalt, on the other hand, they got two victories against Death Roll and Overhaul, and a very quality loss to Minotaur because they had Minotaur on the ropes for part of that fight. So yeah, definitely the performance. Cobalt definitely had a very quality performance in that loss there. So yeah, these two kind of going up against each other here. I think they're both due to make bracket, as I've said, based on that record and quality performance. So I think whoever wins this will determine who is kind of the higher seed. Lucky could be in due for a top 10 seed if they win this match. I think, definitely, I think their strength of schedule hasn't been the hardest, but definitely their quality performance has been high up there because Matt Olson's driving has just been absolutely on point in all three of those matchups, and he's going to need to be on point in this one because this is without a doubt Lucky's hardest opponent this season, and definitely up against another really good driver himself in Dave Molds. So, yeah, so how I see this fight going down, I got Cobalt winning this by knockout. So, in heart, I really want Lucky to win this one because I want to see Lucky go 4-0. Like after seeing three rough seasons, 2016, 18, 19, and then seeing Lucky start to really move on the right track and make bracket last season, and off to a really good start this year. I really want to see Lucky go 4-0, but sadly, I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think how I kind of see this fight going down. I think they're gonna need to win the ground game against Cobalt because they could try to take advantage of Cobalt's gyroscopic forces, but Dave has been a great driver, and not many teams have really been able to take advantage of those gyroscopic force problems that Cobalt has, at least. So yeah, as for this one, I think Lucky's going to have the start of this match, get a couple flips in there, but I think as soon as Cobalt starts getting underneath and possibly wrecks the front possibly wrecks those front wedges on Lucky, I don't think there's going to be much more that Lucky can do here. And I worry that I think they can definitely take some of the hard hits because Lucky has been pretty well known for being a brick, but this is Cobalt here. Cobalt has one of the nastiest weapons in Battlebots, and I think the damage could stack up pretty early. I think this fight's going to be over, and I'm going to guess a minute and a half here, and yeah, so. Yep, my prediction is going to be Cobalt for this one, and let's move on to fight number 2. Blit versus Banshee. We got a flipper battle here, and the second fight has always been pretty promising, at least so far this season. We've seen several exciting performances, and I hope we'll get another one right here. So, and of course, we got a flipper battle between two different flipper types. Blip, on the other hand, and on one side, currently 1 and 2, or no, they're not. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Blip is currently sitting at 1-2 right now. With started off with losses to Endgame and Huge, who in my opinion are two of the worst possible opponents Blip could have been given. And then they got a victory over the defending champ in the recent episode, or not recent episode, their recent fight. So yeah, good way to get back on track. But then they got one more here, and I think a win will definitely put them in the bracket. I think if they lose that one, I think they could be on the bubble. I think they could be on the bubble here, but they are definitely at risk of not making bracket. Banshee, on the other hand, 1-2 right now. They got a victory over Valkyrie for I think it was their second fight, but then they got two losses to Switchback and Emulsifier. So I think the winner of this one definitely makes bracket. I think the losing robot, they're either on the bubble or for sure out. Because I unfortunately think if Banshee doesn't win this fight, I don't think they're going to make bracket, unfortunately. Even though I would really love to see Banshee make bracket. Because I want to see all the non-spinners possible get into that bracket, just because I think it'd be exciting to see some non-spinners go on a deep run, because we've seen some potential. We've seen lots of potential from lots of the non-spinners this season, like Claw Viper, Quantum, and so on. So yeah. As for this one, I'm going to lean towards Blip on this one, because I think this one's going to come down to who can control the match better. That's typically what happens in a flipper battle. Whoever wins the ground game and whoever can control the match better. And it's typically been ground game, because like the past two flipper battles we've seen so far, which were Blip and Hydra, and I believe the one before that would be Bronco and Hydra back in 2019. But those two, the winner came down to who won the ground game. But the thing that I'm also taking into consideration here is that Banshee has not been the most consistent robot this season, because they've been having lots of issues with that flipper all season long. And I hope they improve that at least for this match, because this is an important one. So Blip has definitely been the more consistent robot, at least between the two of them. I would probably consider Blip to be the more reliable robot here between the two of them. And I would probably edge out Aaron Hill with driving, but I'm not going to count David Small either, because David Small I think is an underrated driver. I think he absolutely is a great driver himself. But yeah, this one comes down to combination of reliability, ground game, and driving for this one. And I'm gonna lean towards Blip on this one, so I have Blip winning this fight. But yeah, we'll see when this episode comes this Thursday. Fight number 3, Battle of the International Bots, the International Vertical Spinners, two of them at least. We got Monsoon and Death Roll, two pretty nasty vertical spinners, two verts that we haven't seen since the 2019 season. So as of right now, Death Roll is currently sitting at 2-1. I'd say they're a pretty safe bet to make bracket. They start off with a brutal loss to Cobalt, but then two pretty dominant victories over both Switchback and Mammoth. I think they're probably set to make bracket even if they lose this match. Monsoon, on the other hand, currently 1-2. They got a victory over Horizon for their second match, but then two losses to Black Dragon and Whiplash. Both of them were quality victories, in my opinion, because they've shown what that bar spinner can do and just how dangerous that robot can be. So yeah, these two are two different vertical spinners, because like Monsoon goes for ground game for sure. And then Death Roll focuses a lot more on reach. They don't want to focus too much on the ground game, it looks like. And I believe Death Roll did reveal that they did not bring forks for this season, so I'm expecting they're probably going to try to go for the reach game on this one and try to catch Monsoon at an interesting angle. But for this fight, I am going to go with Monsoon for this one. Like I think Monsoon. I think definitely going head on. I think Monsoon probably wins those exchanges, but I do think Deathroll could win this one also by outlasting Monsoon, because we definitely saw in the Whiplash fight that Monsoon, like, they're definitely capable of possibly reliability problems. Like, the weapon was definitely working at 100% in that fight against Whiplash, but the drive almost, but the one-sided drive looked like it gave out in the Whiplash fight. But That's kind of my concern for Monsoon, unless if Deathroll can catch them at an angle, which I think is what Deathroll is probably going to try to do. But it'll be interesting to see what Tom Brewster does here. So yeah, I personally think this one's probably going to end in a knockout for Monsoon. I think this one's going to go probably like two minutes of the match, something like that, because I think both robots absolutely have the durability to take a bunch of big hits from the other, but we'll see. So yeah, because I think Monsoon would win a head-on exchange between these two robots, because I think that's probably what's going to happen in this match. That's why I have Monsoon winning this fight. So, but this one should be exciting. All right, Midway Major in a fight that I personally was a little surprised this was not going to be a main event here. But like I'm not saying that like it does. I'm not saying that like the previous few episodes the main event didn't make sense, or this one the main event didn't make sense. Like definitely, like I'm just saying that like this is a worthy main event, and like if I saw the schedule to be when I saw the schedule to beginning of the season, I pointed at this match and I was betting this was going to be a main event, but it's the Midway Major. It's Tantrum and Whiplash. So both robots kind of on the ropes here. They're both sitting at 1 and 2 right now. Never would have expected to see the defending champ in a position like this. This and same thing with Whiplash. I didn't was not expecting to see either of these robots in a position like this. Because yeah, Tantrum started off the season with a loss to Minotaur, then got a pretty dominant victory over Hydra, and then another loss in a pretty close match to Blip. Whiplash started off the season with two brutal losses to Mad Catter and Hypershock, but then bounced back with a victory in a very good fight against Monsoon. So, yeah, I think this one, the winner of this fight, I think for sure makes bracket. I think the losing robot, they would be on the bubble for me, but I think they both have the strength of schedule and both have had some quality performances in those losses to where I bet they probably make bracket, but it's not certain, at least in my opinion. So basically how I see this one, this is a driving match right there for sure. Both of them have very skilled drivers, very fast robots, pretty good weapons. They're definitely not the most powerful weapons in the field, but they're definitely but like basically these are two robots that are kind of meant to like drive, meant to outdrive, control the opponents kind of. And because I think Matt Vasquez is a better driver and I think more likely to control the match, I'm gonna pick Whiplash for this one. Like I think this fight could absolutely go either way, and I think whoever does the better job driving and whoever bends up like the front to their opponent first is going to be the one to come out on top in this one. And that seriously could go either way because Tantrum and Whiplash are both very capable of doing that. But because I think I'd give the edge to Matt Vasquez, like I'll give him the edge any day when it comes to winning a driving match, just because he is that good of a driver. Stuff like that is why I'm predicting Whiplash for this one. Okay, fight number 5. Hijinks and Switchback. So this is one where I'm just gonna get right to the point here. I think both robots are definitely on the bubble, at least. Like some of them, even if they win this, jeez, I can't speak. So I'm just gonna go robot one by one. So Hijinks currently sitting at 1 and 2 right now. They started off with an early victory against Big Dill, which is pretty solid, but showed some weapon problems. Then two losses to Captain Shredder and Ripperoni, both of them which were I'd probably say pretty brutal. So Hijinks definitely in need of a victory, but I do worry that possibly a win here might not be enough exactly because I feel we haven't seen enough from Hijinks. I think Hijinks is not only in need of a win here, but I think they're in need of a quality victory here too. Because I think if we see a lackluster win from Hijinks, I think we could possibly see Hijinks still not make bracket. But we'll see. I hope Hijinks makes bracket if they win this fight because I love Hijinks. Hijinks is awesome. As is Switchback, their opponent. Switchback currently in a better spot right now, 2 and 1. They got victories over Banshee and Ominous, but then lost to Death Roll. I think Switchback I think Switchback is another robot where I think if they lose this fight, I think they also could be on the bubble to possibly not get into bracket, even at 2-2, which I hope doesn't happen though, because I think I would love to see Switchback in the bracket and possibly make some noise. But if they win this fight, I think they're absolutely in at a 3-1. So I think a win by Switchback definitely confirms them a spot in the bracket for sure. 2-2 definitely gets a bit risky. So as for this fight, I think Switchback definitely has the design advantage in this one, but I am going to be picking Hijinks for this one. Basically, I definitely Switchback. I'm very concerned on how well they could take the shots from a from a weapon from a full speed weapon like Hijinks here, because I expect they're probably going to go with like a wedge attachment, like what we saw them use against Ominous and I think Banshee as well. Just everyone else they use that configuration against, and that thing just did not take the hits that well in either of those fights. Well, at least especially in the Ominous fight, like that wedge just did not take the hits that well. So I worry that if Hijinks' weapon is working at 100% this time, which I hope is the case, because we definitely have that weapon's been having issues all season, which is really unfortunate. Because like this is like the first season where Hijinks has been having big time reliability problems with the weapon, and rather than because like the previous few seasons it's been drive that's been the issue, but this time it's been a little more towards the weapon. So I think if Hijinks' weapon is working at 100%, I think they win this fight. And because I'm not sure about how well Switchback is going to be able to box rush Hijinks, so. But I think if Hijinks is having reliability problems once again like that, I think Switchback takes this one probably by judge's decision here, because while Switchback's weapon definitely has a lot more power in it than it did last season, I think. I'm not sure if it has enough power to be able to KO Hijinks, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna lean more towards Hijinks winning this fight, but without a doubt, I think this is a must-win fight for both robots and will have some major playoff implications. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to this match here because it's between two awesome robots that I definitely love to see. All right, fight number 6, Double Tap and Slammo. So this one, the last battle between alternates, at least during qualifiers. I think I think it's likely we'll see some of these robots once again in either exhibition or Battlebots champions. I'm not sure which, maybe both, but regardless, these two robots are facing off here, and I think this is going to be an excellent test for Slammo, because definitely seeing lots of the pictures of Slammo, at least prior to the season starting, that robot looks a lot beefier, a lot better armored, at least, to take on horizontal spinners, and they got a horizontal spinner right here. So this will be an interesting test to see how well can Slammo take hits from horizontal spinners like Double Tap. I expect Double Tap's probably going to have the weapon teeth that they didn't have on last season, or not last season, during their fight with Doomba. They're kind of meant to pop out when that weapon gets up to full speed, and we'll get to see those things in action. So as for this one, I gotta go Double Tap for this one, and basically it's not because I think Slammo can't take the hits, but a whole separate reason. So, because I hope Pori's watching this, but Pori's got a bet going with Civilian Arc that if Double Tap wins a fight against either Doom or against an opponent that's not Doomba or Rusty, Pori would have to eat Burger King, and I want to see that personally. So I gotta go Double Tap on this one, but in all honesty, though, when talking about this matchup here, because I'm not going to make a prediction just on one of the podcast's co-hosts and I's silly bets that we make. Basically, I liked how even though Double Tap did KO Doomba, and when Doomba didn't use like their spinner configuration for it, I liked how Double Tap looked in that fight, and I think as long as that weapon is spinning, I think we're gonna see them land hit after hit on Slammo, and I think we're gonna see a judge's decision in this one because I like the look of Slammo and how much better armored it is. But then I think Slammo's gonna need to kill that weapon, and maybe we'll get to see some suplexes there. From what I know, I believe double tap can self-right if they were to get flipped, but I'm not confident on that because I haven't seen video proof of that. But from what I've heard, I believe they can through their weapon. I believe is what it is. But so regardless, I think that should be an interesting fight to see, and I think I'm predicting double tap for this one. All right, fight number 7, and this one gonna be a good one. We got Minotaur and Witch Doctor, and a couple things I want to mention before I talk about this fight. First thing being, I think whoever wins this one is gonna get the 1 seed. Definitely, like I'm not terribly confident on that, like I was with like Endgame and Sawblaze being a battle for the 1 seed last season, because there are robots like Riptide, Huge, Quantum, who all could possibly get that 1 seed. But I'm most confident that whoever wins this match is going to get that 1 seed spot. So Minotaur is taking on Witch Doctor for this fight, which is a rematch. Round 3 between these two robots. They fought for the first time in 2018, where in the first round of the top 16. So where Minotaur came out on top, and then Witch Doctor came out on top by judge's decision. And no, I am not going to talk about the controversy. That's not the point of these podcasts, and I choose to move on at least from it. But I guarantee Battlebots is going to bring that up like 3 or 4 times in this upcoming episode. They already brought it up once in the last episode, and we're probably going to see that at least a few times once again in this upcoming episode. So, so let's talk about the fight now. So, I really think this fight could go. Like, I seriously think this fight could go either direction because both robots have shown some insane weapon power in all 3 of their victories, and they both shown some incredible durability. Because, like, if I go through each robot's fights one by one, Minotaur showed the power of that drum spinner very well in the fights with really all 3 of those fights. They've shown how nasty that drum spinner is this year, and it sacked up the damage against all of their opponents. And then they showed in their last fight with Cobalt that robot is very durable because like that thing was able to take quite a few shots from Cobalt's vertical spinner, and even while they were having motor or battery troubles, I'm not sure what that smoke was. They kept going and managed to get the knockout on Cobalt. Witch Doctor, on the other hand, yeah, showed that brutal weapon power in both the fights with Ribot and Gruff, and then showed some insane durability in that fusion fight. I'm personally still shocked that Witch Doctor survived all the punishment they took from both of Fusion spinners in that one. So as for this one, of course, I'm going to be going Minotaur. Like, Minotaur's my favorite robot out there. They are my pick to win the whole thing. But, like I said, this fight could really go either way. So, what I kind of see going on here is, like, I bet Minotaur's probably gonna go with some form of scoops for this one. I don't know if they'll go with this. I don't know if they'll be going with the same thing they used against Witch Doctor last season or not, but we'll see. Witch Doctor, on the other hand, I bet they'll probably be going for reach for this one, but we could also see them maybe trying to use the fork attachment that we saw them use in the Gruff fight and whenever that last match was. But we'll see. I don't think I've seen any fight pictures from this one yet, but it should be exciting regardless. So, what I kind of see going on here, I'm kind of see a back and forth showdown going between these two robots. I like the extra reach that Minotaur's drum spinner has had these past few seasons, and I think they could win a bunch of weapon on weapon exchanges with Witch Doctor. But if Witch Doctor can take advantage of Minotaur's gyroscopic forces and start landing hits on the sides to knock Minotaur off balance, or if Freitas makes a driving issue, like what we saw them make when they fought last time, that put Minotaur in the screws, and Witch Doctor took advantage of that before Minotaur hopped off the upper deck and lost that wheel. But Yeah, so I think whoever controls the fight better between the two of them is gonna win this fight, and I'm gonna lean towards Minotaur on this one. But this should be an incredible back and forth fight, and I think whoever wins this for sure will get the 1 seed. I think whoever wins this match, I think they're absolutely still a top 10 seed because all three of these robots have, well, I don't know why I said all three. Both of those robots have been absolutely ferocious this season and definitely prove both robots are a major contender for the Giant Nut this year. So, yeah, this should be an exciting main event and a great way to end the qualifiers before they reveal the bracket because Battlebots is planning on revealing the bracket at the end of this episode. So, yeah, be ready to see it when after this main event ends. So it should be exciting stuff to see, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that'll do it for this prediction show and the discussion. Let me quick show what I got for predictions. Review it. Yeah, so my predictions for this one are Cobalt, Blip, Monsoon, Whiplash, Hijinks, Double Tap, and Minotaur for this. Several fights with major either playoff implications or seeding implications. And and this will end with a full reveal of the brackets, and I'm really looking forward to that because I'll be itching to make my bracket. And I do plan to do a prediction show of my entirety of my bracket, sharing my predictions for all those matchups and all that fun stuff. So yeah, anyway, that'll do it for this video. So thanks for watching this podcast. Be sure to reply down below with your predictions, as lots of you have been for the past many episodes. Always love seeing who you all think will win these matchups and comparing them with what I got here. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching this podcast, and I'll see you next time.